For MTC Media, live here at Cap One Center with a weird angle. I figured that if the Warriors want to break this losing streak, maybe we should do something different, not just sit at a table, stand up a bit, get some weird old angle going there to help the Warriors break this losing streak as they are playing the ball. Look, we can talk about the same stuff that we've talked about for God knows how long. Um, for keys to victory. But you know what? Again, we're going to do something different. One of the things that Georgetown, the first time that they played DePaul, was they gave up that big run, something that Georgetown has done all year. I think DePaul scored like 26 in a row, 33-2 run. Coming back, take the lead, win the game. And look, they didn't even have Freeman Liberty in that game, one of their main scorers. So, the natural feeling, I guess it is, that if Georgetown doesn't win this, they're not going to win a Big East Conference game. They have UConn here February 27th, which I believe is Sunday, then at Seton Hall at Xavier. It will be tough if they don't get one tonight. I feel like I'm going to give you a prediction at the end, which I don't usually do on this broadcast, but I figure I would do it tonight. Like I said, trying to switch things up. So one of the things that Georgetown has to do that we saw up at Villanova, which was, Patrick was more willing to press. He changed defense. He went zone for two possessions. One possession was a successful one. The other possession, Villanova got a layup up the left side, and we never saw that zone defense. We never got the zone defense again. But I do think that Georgetown does need to, again, look at switching defenses and maybe play a little bit more zone, Patrick. But definitely they should go on a full court. I know you don't want this game to turn into a track meet with the ball plays right into their hands, but I do think that you should play with some pressure on the ball. Make them have to be decision makers. Make them have to be decision makers. That will help Georgetown defensively somewhere where there's struggles. On the offensive side, you've heard me say it all year. Georgetown cannot turn the ball over. Georgetown knows they can't turn the ball over, but it's also decision making too. They're not always the best decision makers, and as I've said in the last few broadcasts, they have got to limit these no pass, one pass possessions. That means you, Dante Harris. You got to stop doing it. And Tyler Beard, when you come to the game, you have to be efficient. Now, when you look at the bigs, I don't know if you've noticed this, but Big Ten, Igor Efe has had a bad attitude this last month, and I don't mean that in a bad way. He's been physical, a little bit of trash talking here and there, getting the elbows up, trying to get a physical presence. Hey, that's a guy who's probably sick and tired of what's happening, a guy who's trying to hold off Ryan Mutombo for those minutes. Hey, I don't blame him. Speaking of Ryan Mutombo, I know it's something you can't fix this year, but his feet's got to get better on defense. He is such a liability. He gets out there tonight, I would feel like DePaul will put him in a bunch of screening roles, make him move. The thing about Big Ryan is when he hard hedges, he does not get back on the roll guy with the sense of urgency that he needs to get back on the roll guy with. Then therein lies his problem, which makes him such a liability when you put him out there defensively. As far as Malcolm Wilson, we know that Malcolm is pretty limited. Georgetown gives up at times. The perimeter players give up way too many straight line drives to put Malcolm in there as a rim protector because he can't get over in time because, again, too many straight line drives are given up by the perimeter players. So that hurts Wilson when he's inside. So, taking a look at this, what would you think? Bobby Bancroft, if he was here, he would tell you, Warriors don't really win games if it's not the 70s. If you get to the 70s, 80s with the ball, it seems like a track meet. So it seems like you might be going a little bit too fast with yourself. So which one is it? I would say for Georgetown at this point, what you have to do is mix it up. You can get to the 70s without making this a track meet. If you can do it on the defensive end, obviously also you need for Caden Rice to get off the schneid or whatever he's been about these last few games, shooting three poorly. I don't know if it's because he's coming off the bench. Who knows? You have to talk to him and ask him where his mind is right now. But if he comes out and hits his first couple of threes, he's probably fine. You know what you're going to get out of Carey. You know that Aminu Muhammad's going to have to be a hell of a lot more efficient. We cannot have one of those games where you're 4 for 16, you have 12 points and 19 rebounds, but you have 16 attempts to get it. Can't have that either. Way too inefficient for today's college basketball. Even with the shot clock, even with all the threes, they got shots. Speaking of threes, you notice what Villanova did to him? They encouraged him to shoot the three-pointer from the corner every time. There's something that Muhammad is going to have to fix in the offseason. He has to be able to hit that shot. And the irony is, we live in the era of the corner three. It is odd to see a kid that is that good cannot shoot the corner three. It seems like they all shoot the corner three. So those are things you have to work on, and maybe you can have a night. Yes, get inside, still on the side. Again, also for Georgetown, watch the free throw attempt count. Georgetown is one of these games where if they play their cards right, they'll get 14, 15 free throws at least tonight. Got to make it when you get there, but you got to be aggressive. Get the ball back on their heels a little bit. Like I said earlier, don't usually do predictions, but I'm going to do one today. I'm telling you right now, I think this is the night that Georgetown gets their first win in the Big East. If you're the gambling type, they are getting 2.5 points. I would take the 2.5 points in Georgetown. You know, putting all jokes aside, these guys have played too hard of late to not have something bounce their way. And I think tonight is the night that it bounces their way and they finally get a way to get a victory. In fact, I'm going to give you a score. I think the final score will be Georgetown 77, DePaul 73. Going for a high-scoring game. But anyway, this is Marcus Washington 5 from Capital One. MTC Media. You guys have a good night, and let's see what the Hoyas do tonight.